Hello, in this video we'll speak about Codeforces round number 817, day 4, and the problem colored or color blindness. Color blindness. So we have Avasia has a grid with 2 rows and n columns. He colors each cell with one of the 3 colors, the main 3 colors, red, green or blue. Vasya is color blind, يعني هو عنده عمى ألوان, and cannot distinguish green from blue. Determine if Vasya will consider the 2 rows of the grid to be colored the same. So we have the input and output. The input of this challenge. The input consists of multiple test cases. The first line contains an integer t, and t greater than or equal 1 and less than or equal 100, and the number of tests. The description of these test cases follows, and t here is 6, maybe 100, maybe 1, maybe 2, but it's greater than or equal 1 and less than 100. So t is in the first row, only in the first row. The following 2 lines, which is this line and this 2 lines, we have 3 lines, actually 3 lines each time, 3 lines, as you see, 3 lines. So the following two lines each contain a string consists of n characters. So this is the n characters. N characters, yes, those are the n characters and the same. And this is the n, number n, each of which is either R, G or blue, or B. R for red, G for green, and B for red. Okay, so the first line here, each test case contains an integer n, and n is greater than or equal 1 and less than or equal 100, اللي هو number of columns of the grid. So this is the number of columns of the grid, and these 2 columns, so we have just 2 characters in each row, and here we have 4 columns, so we have 4 characters in each row. When just only we have 2 rows for the grid, it's a fixed number, but the vary is the number of columns, and so on. Here in the test we have 5 characters in each row, and in the fourth test we have 7 characters in each row, and we have in the 8th test we have 8 characters. In the 5th test we have 8 characters in each row, just 2 rows as you see. And the 6th test and last one, we have just 1 row, so we have 1 character in each 2 rows. Okay, so the output. What will be the output for each test case? Output yes if Vasya considers the grid's 2 rows to be identical, the same, and no otherwise. If they not the same, you give a no. You can output the answer in any case. Example, yes, yes, or capital, yes, or small, as you see. So we have 6 tests, so we have 6 programs or trials, and we have 6 outputs. As we see here, G like B, he has a blind or color blind. He cannot differ between or distinguish between the green and the blue color. So in the first column R, the same are red, and G and blue, or green and blue, so it's the same because he cannot distinguish between green and blue, so it's the same, it's identical, so it gives yes. In the second test we have G R, B, G, and the same in the second row, G, B, G, B. And here we have different. In case of R, in the other side, there B. So he can distinguish between these two cells. There is R, but in the corresponding cell, there is blue. So this is distinguished by Vasya. So it will be, the result or the output will be no. The third test, the same. All in the first row are G color, and the second row are blue color, as you see here. This is G in each cell, and this blue in each cell. So he can distinguish. So it gives yes. In the third color, blue and R, he can distinguish between R and blue. So it gives no. In the fourth test or the fifth test, as you see here, he can't distinguish because each R corresponds to each R, and therefore also between green and blue. So he can't distinguish. So it gives yes. And in the number five, yes. And in last one, G and G, the same, identical, so it gives yes. Let's go to the program, written program, and discuss it. This is our program. We will use arrays, so we will import array as AR. The program is written in Python. Then we enter the number of tests, t equals integer, and of input. So we have two functions, one inner inside the other. Integer is, or int is the outer of input function to enter the value of t. If t equals or equal 1 and t less than or equal 100, as in our case or our challenge, okay, if this condition is right. So for m in the range of t, because we have range, if t equals 6, so we'll do this 6 times. If it will 10, it will do it 10 times. So it has 6 times. So t equals 6, so we'll repeat it 6 times. So we design a for loop of range of t, and m it's a counter. Then we enter the number of columns. N equals int of the function input, the same as this one for entering the value for t. And then we define that we have two arrays. Array number 1, which is for row number 1, and array number 2 for rows 2. Okay. Then we design a variable x. We don't need this x value, we need it down. Okay. X equals y equals yes if n is greater than or equal 1 and n is less than or equal 100. So for I in range of n, we created a variable ELE. We will enter each character in ELE. If ELE is J or ELE is R in capital letters or ELE in capital of B. So R01 append ELE. So we will insert this character في row number 1, which is the first row. Else give us error because he entered a character not G or R or B. Then the same thing for row number 2, we will do it for row number 2. So this is for entering this is, or these are for entering this for loops, for the two for loops for entering the values of R and G and B, like this. Okay, according to the n, because n here is in the for loop. Okay, Then we will now check for output, for the output here. So here the output, we can write here for output. And here input. Okay, so if for I in range of n, if row 2 of I equals row 1 of I equals R, or row 2 of I not equal R and row 1 of I not equal R, okay, it not equal, it will be equal G or B. It not so Y equals U, yes, else X equals no and print X. If X not equal no at the end of the for loop, so it give us yes. Let's try this program. We will do it for 2 times, 2 tests. The first one we will run again, please run 2, and then we will do it for 2 tests. The first test of n number of 3, so we will enter 3 characters R, B and G, and here we will enter R, G and B. The result will be true for yes, so it give us a we will enter another one B, it give us yes. Okay, the second one will be 4, n equals 4, we will enter 4 characters G, R, G, B, G, R, J, B, and in the other case R, G, B, R, B, R, it give no, okay, give us no, but he have give us so now it's out of the program. Let's try another one. Run 2 by 2 cases. First one is W and R. It's give error because we don't enter one character of RGB. Okay, so the program is working good. Now we will document this program. We will copy it, Control copy, and go to solo learn. The same, we do this every time we design or create a program. We document this program. So here file code playground, new code, Python, Control V, enter. Then we will copy the problem and the links and put inside the comment. As you see, go here, this is our link. Problem, and then we will copy all the problem with the input and the output and the solving of it, inputs outputs, and the copy, and then we go here and press Ctrl V. Okay, then we will name it. For naming it, line right here. So Codeforces, I will name it with I will name it later, so it will be public, and this is the name will be Codeforces. Codeforces, and I will name it and then save it. Okay, so now I will stop the program, stop recording.